Fear. It's a primal instinct, hardwired into our very being. It whispers doubts in the quiet moments and screams warnings in the face of danger. Fear is a powerful force, a silent grip that can shape our choices and limit our lives. We all experience fear, but it's how we respond to it that truly defines us. Fear can be a helpful guide, alerting us to real threats and keeping us safe. But more often than not, fear becomes a barrier, holding us back from experiencing the fullness of life. It thrives in the shadows, whispering doubts and anxieties that chip away at our confidence. It magnifies risks and minimizes our abilities, making mountains out of molehills. Fear keeps us small and safe, but at what cost? When we allow fear to dictate our decisions, we relinquish our power and settle for a life less lived. We trade our dreams for the comfort of the familiar, our passions for the illusion of security. Fear has a paralyzing effect, freezing us in our tracks when we most need to act. It whispers, "What if you fail?" or "You're not good enough." And suddenly our dreams feel impossibly distant. We hesitate, second-guess ourselves, and ultimately talk ourselves out of taking the leap. This inaction, fueled by fear, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We avoid the very things that could lead to growth and fulfillment, perpetuating the cycle of fear and doubt. The more we give in to fear's grip, the stronger it becomes, until we find ourselves living in a self-imposed prison of our own making. Imagine wanting to pursue a passion, start a business, or express your love for someone, but fear keeps you silent and immobile. The opportunities pass us by, leaving behind a residue of regret and what-ifs. We are left wondering what could have been if only we had found the courage to act. Fear is a master manipulator, distorting our perception of reality and magnifying obstacles. What seems insurmountable through the lens of fear often shrinks to a manageable size when viewed with courage and clarity. We build up scenarios in our minds, imagining the worst possible outcomes, and convince ourselves that these fears are truths. This distorted reality becomes our prison, limiting our potential and keeping us trapped in a cycle of negativity. We avoid risks, even calculated ones, because the fear of failure outweighs the possibility of success. We settle for mediocrity, convincing ourselves that it's better to be safe than sorry. But what if we chose to see fear not as an insurmountable wall, but as a hurdle to overcome? What if we challenged our fearful thoughts and replaced them with ones of courage and resilience? The world opens up when we choose to see clearly, to challenge the narratives that fear whispers in our ears. Fear is a powerful tool, often wielded by those in positions of power to control and manipulate others. It's used to silence dissent, maintain the status quo, and prevent individuals from recognizing their own strength and agency. When we live in fear, we are less likely to question authority, challenge injustice, or fight for what we believe in. We see this manipulation throughout history and in our own time. Governments use fear to control their citizens, spreading propaganda and misinformation to sow discord and obedience. Individuals in positions of power use fear to intimidate and silence those who threaten their authority. Breaking free from this cycle of fear requires critical thinking, questioning narratives, and seeking truth from reliable sources. It demands courage to stand up for what's right, even when it feels uncomfortable or unsafe. It means recognizing that our voices matter and that together we can overcome fear's grip. Fear is isolating. It whispers that we are alone in our struggles, that our vulnerabilities are weaknesses to be hidden from the world. It prevents us from reaching out for help, for connection, for the love and support that we all need to thrive. We build walls around our hearts, convinced that vulnerability will only lead to pain and rejection. This isolation breeds more fear, creating a vicious cycle that can be difficult to break. We convince ourselves that we are not worthy of love, connection, or belonging. We hide our true selves behind masks of perfection and strength, afraid to let anyone see our imperfections. But vulnerability is not weakness, it is courage. It is the willingness to show up authentically, to let others see our true selves, imperfections and all. It is in the moments of vulnerability that we forge true connections and build meaningful relationships. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it. It is the choice to show up, to speak our truths, to chase our dreams, even when our hearts are pounding and our minds are screaming at us to turn back. Courage is a muscle that grows stronger with each act of bravery, each time we choose to face our fears head-on. It's time to stop letting fear dictate our lives. It's time to break free from the chains of doubt and step into the fullness of who we are meant to be. Let's embrace vulnerability, build each other up, and create a world where courage paves the way to a more compassionate, authentic, and fulfilling existence. The world needs your courage, your voice, your unique light. Don't let fear dim your shine. Step into the arena of life with an open heart and an unyielding spirit. The world is waiting for you, and all you need to do is shine.